But number 5, where did you go?
Yeah, our number 5, which can lead straight into our next topic, is that I went to, and Zeus went to, New York. We went to the Empire State.
So let's do a quick story on that one. I want to do a quick story on that one.
Go ahead.
So one of my best friends is a firefighter. So they wanted to go to New York for September 11th, which, I mean, you guys know, we've had a conversation last year about September 11th, right? So ours is kind of one of those things. It's like, yeah, you know, honor them and all that good stuff. But, you know, he wanted to go in September. I was like, all right, cool. Let's go to New York.
And it's the 20th anniversary, right? So
it was the 20th anniversary. So it was a big thing, which actually kind of, there's something that both Zino and I'm sure Zino noticed it. I know I noticed it because I asked some of the firefighters when we were down there about this. But anyways, I'll get to that in a minute. So my wife actually, it was his graduation party to become a captain. So he became a captain. We did a surprise party for him. And that same day he told my wife, hey, yeah, I'm going, September 11th, we're going to New York. And she was like, oh, that's cool. And then he told me, and then she was like, you're going too. I was like, wait, I am? She was like, yeah, you're going too. And then like right there and there, she got me tickets and sent me to, I guess she wanted to get rid of me and sent me to New York for September 11th. So that was, so I was like, all right, I guess I'm going to New York. And then I needed a hotel or whatever, and I couldn't get one because I just didn't have the time to get one. And then that last time that me and you saw each other, which was that Atlanta United game, was like at the end of July, or I think might have been after July.
No, it was end of July. Yeah.
It was end of July. Okay. So we talked about it and I told you about it. And then, you know, my question was, would you like to go? What was your response?
Yeah, I was like, yeah, let's go.
Yeah, sure.
So no, we were at,
I got a plane ticket and I was like, okay.
Anyone who is like in the Atlanta area, if you ever do go to an Atlanta United game, there's a place across called Reverb. It's in a Hard Rock hotel type of thing. It's a really nice area. You should go check it out. They've got a rooftop bar. Yeah, nice. And we were hanging out there, and it came up in conversation, and so I immediately started looking at, like, you know, what it would cost and yada yada, and I was like, you know, yeah, let's go. Oh, actually, you know what? No, sorry. Let me take that back. I thought when he was telling me about it, it was him and his wife, Kathy, that were going, and I was like, okay, yeah, I guess we can go some other time, because he was talking about us going to the Falcons bar over there. And then when he mentioned it was a guy's trip, I was like, oh, well, I could just go on this one. So that's how I ended up on this trip along with Zeus.
So we went, you know, we got this Airbnb up in where did we go? Harlem?
Yeah, 125th Street. No, 122nd Street.
Yeah, 122nd Street. You know, we were hanging around Malcolm. If you go to New York, or if you're from New York, I'm sure you can co-sign this. What was that one badass breakfast spot that we went to that apparently somebody told me it was also it becomes like a place to hang out at night?
Are you talking about the one we went to on the Saturday?
Yeah,
the social circle, I think.
Social corner.
Social corner. Thank you.
Social corner. If you guys are in New York, especially if you're in Harlem, I think it's off. Is it off Malcolm X? Was it off Malcolm X?
It is off. It is off Malcolm X. It's close to 125th.
Yeah. So the social. So I'm gonna tell you real quickly my review of New York before we go into the whole, you know, the September 11th part. Yeah. Which isn't, there was nothing bad about it. It was just, I just saw an interesting observation that I saw. I honestly went to New York expecting to not care for New York, thinking people are going to be rude. You know, you hear all these rumors, all these stereotypes about New Yorkers being rude, about the city stinking, about, you know, all that kind of stuff. There's spots that did occasionally smell like piss. We won't lie. Like
those spots that smelled like Jersey.
Yeah. So anyways, so we went there. I'm gonna let that, and I think me and you said it at the same time, man. The vibe in New York was just really an enjoyable vibe.
Yes, it was.
It's an enjoyable vibe. I really liked it. Yeah, people are, you know, people take to themselves, but they're not as rude as people claim they are. You know, you ask directions, they'll give you directions, you know?
Yeah. So honestly, I think whoever started this whole trope of like New Yorkers are like rude and stuff, I think they're probably just in their own feelings a bit much. I think it's kind of the same way I think the French get a bad rap. when you go to France, and they're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
French is
Oh yeah,
so
you did talk
rude."
about that because you're like they're nice as hell.
Yeah, yeah, they're really nice. My I echo what Zeus says about the vibe in New York. It was like really chill vibe. There's a lot to see as well. I think we both are.
The heck? Zino.
Oh, I thought you said something. I'll definitely go back to New York multiple times, but it's not somewhere I could live in. But my
No.
goodness,
Do you want
getting
to talk about
around.
the sign that we saw when we got on the first train?
Oh yeah, no, yeah, yeah. I'll get to that. So moving around from place to place is so easy.
Oh
Right?
my
Everywhere
god.
is so interconnected. You know, there's a subway
Mm.
station just maybe a few blocks away, and you can take that, and that'll get you to whether you're trying to get to City Field where the Mets play, or you're trying to get to Yankee
Dodger Stadium.
Stadium in
Yeah.
Bronx.
Yankee
You know,
Stadium. Yeah.
it's so easy to move around. But yes, in one of those trains that Zeus is talking about, there was a sign talking about a 1-bedroom condo for sale for like 210,000. Oh, starting at 210,000. We're like, what?
Yeah,
You
they
know,
were like, that's our whole houses
yeah.
with yards and
This
stuff. I was
whole
like,
thing is about that price. Is the price of a 1-bedroom condo in
right,
New York.
that's just crazy. That's just crazy. I honestly, man, all props go to people who are able to live in New York. Like,
Yeah.
because I don't get how New York and LA, I don't get how people are able to live in those places. And I've asked one of my friends who lived in LA for a little bit. He was like, people go broke if they want to. Like, people work 2 jobs. People work, sacrifice a lot of different stuff.
I will
So
say, if you're going to visit New York, don't let you know your predispositions to like what people have said sway you from staying in a more affordable area. You can stay in Harlem. Harlem is not this place where you're gonna get robbed at gunpoint every night or get shanked or whatever, which is what people would have you believe. They're like, "Oh, you stayed in Harlem? Oh my God!" No, it was chill. Right? Like
yeah.
we had a nice little Airbnb.
And me and you were walking at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning every single night.
Yeah, yeah. It's whatever. The whole thing is, cities tend to get this bad rap, and it's just be vigilant. Just don't be rocking a gold chain or be like flashing hundreds of dollars. Just be smart. But yeah, no one's gonna. Yeah, Harlem isn't a place where they're like just gonna gun you down or whatever. I don't know why every time I said, "Oh, I'm staying in Harlem," if people are like, "Oh my God, you're staying in Harlem." So there are places that you can stay if you're visiting that are affordable, and you can still get around because the subway will take you right to Manhattan
Yeah.
or right to wherever you need to get to.
I mean, I'll tell you right now, man, I really wish Atlanta, Georgia, would adopt their train.
Yeah, the transit system needs to be like that, man.
It's so good. I mean, yeah, there was a point where me and Zeno, we had to basically sit down for like a good 10, 15 minutes to figure out exactly what we were trying to do. We finally understood what it means to go down to this one to come up this way.
Yeah. And actually, the thing is, once you understand it, it actually makes a lot of sense.
It does, yeah.
Like knowing where the blue line goes and the purple line, and all that stuff. But yeah, it is complicated if you haven't done it before. So Zeus and I were definitely lost for a bit there. All right, so you wanted to talk a little bit about the 9/11 of it all. So that was just Saturday where
my
we were
friends
there.
went down to the. I'm not a firefighter, so I wasn't like this wasn't something that I had to go see. They want to go see like the September 11th memorial, which I do want to go see. I do want to go down there one of these days, but it was just like on September 11th was not the weekend, was not the time that I'd want to go down there because I'm pretty sure it was packed, which I think they did tell me it was packed. But we went to a fire at one of these firehouses. I don't know. Do you remember which station it was?
54, I believe.
Station 54. So we went
54.
down there. We talked to a bunch of the guys there, man. They were really cool. It was really awesome. But one of the things that I noticed, which I guess is a good thing, right? Because it's kind of like a little bit of a moving on kind of thing. Which was when the people would be bringing them stuff like flowers and all that stuff, and they'd have bears and all that good stuff. And
they're not allowed to accept beer. People did bring beer, and they're like, "Yeah, you got to take that." Oh, bears, like teddy bears.
Not beers.
Like, you mean like teddy bears?
Teddy bears. Yeah, that's what I
Oh,
meant.
okay.
Not
That I
beers.
don't. I
Do
I
not bring
wouldn't
them
have
beers.
assumed that. But people did bring beers, and they had to send it. They're like, no, we can't accept this in here. So
And
anyway,
which
go on.
was a problem because we could have accepted them, but whatever. So we're not on the clock. We're not. But anyways, so yeah, so they so people bring, and then one of the things I noticed, I was like, yeah, I was like, is this a lot? Like the amount they had, and he was like, no, I'm not gonna lie. He was like, in previous years, he was like, you would have the whole entire sidewalk just filled up, and it wasn't that much.
Mm.
And then you kind of really get the idea of like, okay, it's a 20-year anniversary, it's a big thing, but I think what's happening is the general public is not allowing it to be politicized as much as it was before. You know what I mean? Like, because I feel like the 10-year anniversary was treated a lot bigger than the 20-year anniversary. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's just kind of like one of those things. I was like, maybe that is a good thing that the nation is starting to move on from that, making it be, this. Because one of the things that we made sure was not to talk to them about it. But the thing is, though, they actually, when you come, some questions inevitably came up. They had no issues talking about it. The firefighters. So it's kind of like a healing thing, I guess you could see that. You could see that. All right, there's healing there. It's happening.
Yeah.
And one thing that I saw was somebody said this: do never say this to anybody on September 11th. Never say Happy September 11th Day.
Yeah.
Somebody actually said that. Don't do that.
So I want to touch on the 10-year thing first, but first this story. So at Engine 54, there's a lot of like people that would come and like take pictures and drop stuff and all this stuff. I was just talking about. Well, one lady was like, "Oh, can I take a picture with you?" And they're like, "Sure." Not us, the firefighters. They're like, "Sure." So she goes and she's like, I think she has her hands around them, taking a picture. And just before the snap, she's like, "Happy 9/11." Oh my God.
Oh, you don't what?
Like what? So yeah, don't say happy 9/11. It's not a quinceanera.
Yeah.
So but the thing I want to talk about, the 10th anniversary, that was shortly after they killed Osama bin Laden, if you remember.
No,
If I'm not mistaken, I believe it was 2011 that they killed Osama bin Laden. And the first half of the year. And so the 10th anniversary was September of 2011. So I think there was also that aspect to it, that it's almost like a closing of a chapter in a sense. But yeah, I agree with you. There were things to commemorate the anniversary, but it wasn't like this, shroud of like, it wasn't this gloomy cloud that was going on. It was like, and we still persist, like we didn't let the terrorists win sort of vibe going on there. I actually really had a good time talking to the firefighters. Not so much about the 9/11 stuff, because like Zeus said, we didn't really talk about that so much. Getting a sense of what firefighters do. And it seems like, well, it's a duh thing, right? Of course, they fight fires. Yes, they fight fires, but they do a lot of other things. It turns out in New York, there are explosions twice a year because of like things that happen under the manhole. The ones where the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles come out of. There's like stuff that goes on that causes explosions, and like they have to like respond to it. And because of how busy the place is, it's like it has to be like quick action. I was hearing stuff about how the firefighters consistently gets. Oh yes, I asked one of them a question. I was like, so do you find that people have better feelings towards you guys than, let's say, the cops? Because with all the things going on in the news of a police brutality and all that. And the guy was like, no, that we get threats all the time, and sometimes we get like curb stomped. I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, because we usually, whenever we go address fires, like we usually have to like break down walls because we have to like stop fires from spreading. You gotta find, talking about like potential like tinder that could like make the fire spread. So they have to break down walls and stuff, and they can't afford to be like dainty with it and like, oh, let's make sure to move this. So people's property gets damaged. So firefighters end up getting targeted by these people like later on. I was like, wow, that's something I would have never even thought of. And that led me to thinking that we should probably do a ZZ Talk feature with one of the firefighters, and we actually got the number of one of them. He's a guy from Louisiana that is now working for the FDNY. Exchange numbers, and we might do a ZZ Talk feature in the future about that.
Maybe. If not, we did definitely go after his shift, went to go drink, ate some pizzas. Pretty cool night.
Yes, the pizza that we ate on Saturday night was pretty good. The one that we ate near Yankee Stadium wasn't that great, but I don't remember the place on Saturday night, but it was really good.
I don't remember the spot either.
Actually, we had 2 different spots, didn't we?
Yes, because we were fat asses this weekend.
Yes.
Or that weekend, because we went. I got a pizza. It was nice. It's just they have different forms. Like New York pizza is not as people want to act like New York pizza is one thing. I was like, no, it seems like there's like various different ways that you can do it. But the most New Yorkish pizza we got was the end of that night. It was near Station 54, somewhere around there, a couple blocks away. So, anyways, pretty cool. Overall, I think that New York trip was really fun.
Yes.
Really enjoyed it.
We'll definitely do another ZZ trip at some point. We really had planned on doing like a recording over there, and well, all that fell through. Full disclosure, we drank. All right. Yeah, and I don't think we're in the best frame of mind to be recording a full-on show and stuff. So, but yeah, that was our number 5. This is its own clip. The New York trip was really good. I'm glad we did it, and we'll do it again.